My name's Marlena Tainer. I graduated from Notre Dame in 2009. My title is Senior Manager of Talent Acquisition and Recruiting at Abercrombie & Fitch. I learned a lot of lessons throughout my time choosing my career path, and now recruiting is kind of where I see myself long-term for sure. I would absolutely advise students to go into, whether it's a career fair or an interview or an internship, even their full-time job, go in with an open mind because you never know what kind of doors are going to be opened for you. If I had had my blinders on to consulting and the Boston area, I would have missed out on kind of a life-changing opportunity. The discernment process can seem scary from the outside looking in. You're trying to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. You don't have to decide what you're doing for the rest of your life today. You don't even have to decide it tomorrow. It can be try it out, do an internship. Figuring out what you don't want to do is just as important as figuring out what you do want to do. Companies are looking for people who are well-rounded. You can show that by being a student athlete. You can show that by being really involved in clubs around campus. You can show that through your volunteering efforts or your part-time work. Anything that you do outside of the classroom really contributes to showing that you can juggle a full schedule. Very few companies are looking for someone who can just do the bare minimum. If you find yourself after the career fair saying, man, I walked away and I really don't have any companies that I'm excited about, I didn't meet anyone who really stood out to me, that's okay. Take a deep breath, it's not over. If it's not through the career fair, talk to your advisor. The Career Center is super helpful. They want to help you find a job. They might know another company that wasn't able to make it. We've had career fairs where we've been snowed out and haven't been able to get there, and there could be a company that didn't show up that's the right match for you. Networking is one of the most valuable resources, and it's not always those formal events that students think of, networking classes or, a certain event put on by a company. Networking can happen any day, anytime, and you can use a few different methods. You've got your social network, your parents, their friends, your classmates here, your teammates, anybody they know. LinkedIn is a huge tool. Use it. Again, tap into that network, figure out, where are the alums, where are the upperclassmen you are friends with, where are they working now, or people who were in the same major, or maybe in your dorm. Lean on all different avenues of connections, see what people are doing, and try to find something that excites you. Creating and cultivating that personal brand is really important. It's not only something that's present when you think of your social media and what's online. Yes, that's out there and companies can find it, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a whole picture of who you are. It's that interaction at the career fair, it's your interview answers, it's the follow-up thank you email that you send or a handwritten note. I would encourage students to really don't be afraid to ask questions. Your roommate's uncle is at a company that you're passionate about. Ask for the contact info. You can kind of open those doors and start those conversations. I always recommend starting with a common interest outside of just you work at the company that I'm curious about. That networking conversation doesn't have to be a really intense business-related conversation. It can be, what are you doing this weekend? Hey, I saw that you were at the game, what kind of seats did you have? Did you enjoy tailgating? You can talk about anything to start that conversation. The person you're talking to at a career fair is a person. They're excited to get to know you. And if they're working in recruiting or in the role that you're interviewing for, they want to know that they want to work with you. So it's not just about finding the person with that perfect GPA who has all of this internship experience. It's about finding the right culture fit. So you have to find, those people that you can connect with, because at the end of the day, they're the ones you're going to be working with. So while we may be sitting there saying, how's your day? Tell me what brought you to our booth. We also want you to be saying, well, what took you to the company and how did you get there? Really create that personal connection, because you have to figure out if that company is right for you as much as the company is figuring out if you're right for them. You just want to be consistent throughout the process. Again, it all goes back to being authentic and being yourself. And if you can tell a consistent story and that's really who you are, it's going to be really easy to kind of communicate that to companies. If you're not being real and you're not being yourself through the recruiting process, a couple things are going to happen. We're going to see through it eventually. Your story's not going to match up. And the second part is you're going to end up in a career that you probably don't want to be in if you go down a path and you have to be someone you're not. So if you can find something that you truly like and that really matches up with yourself and your passions, you're gonna be much happier in the long run. So be true to yourself, because at the end of the day, that's gonna help you find the career path that makes you happy to go to work every day.